Hey everybody, welcome to PBA Radio. It's Chris Guns. A few months back, I had the opportunity to talk to La Bamba, Edwin Rodriguez, and this is what he had to say. Edwin, welcome. You are from Mota in the Dominican Republic. Tell me what it was like growing up in Mota.
Like every Dominican, we all look up to try to be a professional baseball player. My father came here when I wasn't even born yet. I was in my mother's stomach. My dad came here in 1984. I was born in 1985. So I didn't get to meet my dad until I was about 7. I grew up with 3 older brothers. My oldest brother was my father figure, who taught me responsibility since I was small. And in 1998, we came down to the United States. My father brought me and my brothers and my mother to the United States.
That's cool. And y'all still together now?
Yep.
That's cool, man. And what kind of neighborhood you moved to in America? How was it?
I came down to Worcester.
Yeah, you went right to Worcester?
Yep. My father he owned a convenience store, kind of like a little market. We went there since I was about 13, and started boxing at 17.
At 17 you started?
Well, I had my first fight when I was 17. I went a couple of times to the gym when I was about 14, but just a couple of times I beat up my older brother and my father that decided to take me out of boxing. So I came back when I was 16.
And how old were you when you first walked into a gym?
I was 14.
14?
Yeah, I was only there for maybe a week.
Yeah, what kind of kid were you? Were you in trouble or a good kid?
I was always a good kid. Always into sports. I never got in trouble.
And who got you? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were...
Back in the Dominican Republic, I used to fight quite a bit, though, but that was about it with my friends. No, I was a good kid when I came to the United States. I never got in trouble or anything like that. So.
Who got you interested in boxing?
One of my brother's friends. He used to be a coach. So his name is Lucas Mercedes. He brought me down to, he talked to my brother about boxing. And my brother had him bring me to the Boys and Girls Club. I loved it. Unfortunately, my father kept me from it because I beat up my brother. I grew up with 3 older brothers, so now it's 6 of us, all boys. So, we was always fighting at home, so it was nothing new, but it was new to my father because, we didn't really grow up with him because he was here in the United States, trying to get us a better life, trying to get all of us over here. Trying to reach that American dream, you know how that goes.
Sometimes a nightmare. And let's see, so none of your brothers boxed beside you? Or did you?
Nope. I was the only one that picked up in boxing.
Now, were you able to beat
they
your
all
brother?
played baseball. They all try to, be baseball players and stuff like that, because that's what all Dominicans do. But I was the only one that got into boxing.
Now, did you use your boxing skills to beat your older brother? Did it take boxing?
No, the thing is that I was beating him up before I was even into boxing. And he's 2 years older than me.
You didn't have a long amateur career. You went 23-5, right?
No, I did a lot more than that. I was 84-9. I had 2 national titles. I won the USA Nationals and the National Golden Gloves.
God, I don't know why that's not on the internet, man. Crazy. Couldn't find that.
No, it's out there.
You said you went 23-5 and you won the San Antonio Golden. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I clicked on the wrong one, man.
Come on, man. Who are you confusing me with?
Actually, Jesse James Leigh. My thing is like
Jesse James Lee.
My clicker is like one where it just hooks on the thing and it just opens it up.
He's way out, man. I'm my way in.
Sorry, man. What was your amateur record, man?
84 then.
Okay. You were the 2005 U.S. Amateur Middleweight Champ.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you won that? Was that your first major award?
That was my first major award. It was my first nationals. It was my first tournament that I was able to travel because I wasn't a USA citizen prior to that. I did my U.S. citizenship in 2004. And so in 05, the USA National was my first tournament. Nobody really knew who I was, so I was able to come under the radar and just beat everybody.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you feel when you won that?
How you feeling, man?
What'd you say?
I'm doing an interview for boxing. Is that okay with you? One second. I do not know where the dog goes. Hello?
Hello.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, man. If you gotta go,
I love my dog. I think you got me in trouble. Oh, we found him. We're good.
Thank God, man.
Yeah. That's how far I can't win.
So how'd you feel when you won that award? That
It was a great feeling.
that tournament.
It was the first national tournament, so it was an amazing feeling knowing that I was the best in the country in 2005 that year. I went for nothing for not being able to go to any nationals because prior to that I got disqualified to go to the 2004 National Golden Glove due to not being a USA citizen. So coming back the year after that and winning the national title, it was huge. It was a big accomplishment for me, and I think it was the beginning of me believing even more in myself and being like, wow, I'm the best in the country. I might be able to do this for a living.
Is that how you were?
I wasn't able to do the baseball professional. Maybe I have a chance in boxing.
It's like you have an inner voice that sounds like a funny white man. That's how you hear yourself talking.
Funny white man.
But then you won the same thing in 06. How did it feel winning that one? Feel the same way?
In 06, I won the National Golden Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and anybody that don't even know about boxing know what the Golden Gloves is. Everybody did the Golden Gloves. That's either locally or nationally.
Yeah.
So, winning the National Golden Gloves was another big accomplishment as well. Because it's one of those big tournaments that everybody that is something in boxing has won,
Mm-hmm. And you turned pro. Do you remember who you turned pro against and what the result was and everything about that?
Yep, I turned pro back in the 8th January, I believe it was. I fought Samuel Gomez. Very nice kid, actually. We stay in touch. He's from Florida. But he's one of my good friends in boxing now.
Yeah. And
it was a knockout in like a minute or so.
Yeah. How's he feel? How's he deal with that in your friendship now? I'd feel funny being someone's friend like that.
He's actually sounds excited that he was actually in the ring with me. He's a very nice kid.
That's cool, man. In your second fight, you decided to play basketball with your opponent. You bounced him around the canvas like
yeah, that kid, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I don't know. I just kept dropping him. He kept getting back up, and his eyes were like big. I still remember his eyes was just big, and I was just like, holy crap, what's going on? Why does he keep getting up? So it was a lot of fun, though.
You dropped him with did you stop him with a body shot too?
I don't even remember. I know I dropped him so many times.
Yeah, that's cool though.
And the last time that I dropped him, I'm pretty sure that he was gonna get up, but I think that the referee had enough. I think I dropped him like 5 times in like 4 rounds or something like that.
And then you fought
And
Buddy
I'm
McGirt.
sure that he was going to get up again if the referee wouldn't have stopped it.
The ref got tired of that, though.
I was getting tired of it. I was going to be like, I'm not even going to hit you anymore. Forget it. I was ready to quit.
Man. And then you fought Buddy McGirt Jr. for the vacant WBC United States USNBC Super Middleweight Championship of the World. And you stopped him. You won your first championship. How did it feel winning that fight in your first time?
That was an awesome feeling as well. It was my first Showtime main event. It was against, a fighter with a good name. His father was a very good trainer. And it was my first step of becoming, a legitimate top prospect close to being a contender. And, that fight had a lot of meaning to me because I was fighting somebody that had a big name. And I went against a guy like that was going to put me in the boxing match.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you were holding your first championship?
I felt great, man. It was full of excitement. But I knew that I had a long way to go. Because the goal is to be a world champion. And eventually Hall of Famer. So we still got a lot of work to do.
If you say that to Larry Merchant, he's going to love you. That's it, man. And did Buddy McGirt Sr. say anything to you?
Buddy's actually a pretty nice guy. We run into him actually in our last fight. He was there. He's a very good character. He jokes around a lot. I even met Buddy McGirt Jr.'s sister in our last fight. She comes up to me and she said, "You beat my brother, but I'm gonna cheer for you for my last fight with George, with Donovan George." That was pretty cool.
Who was there? Who was it?
Buddy McGirt's Jr.'s sister, so Buddy McGirt's daughter.
Okay.
Buddy had the main event. He had Macklin. So he was in New York for that.
Poor Buddy.
Yeah, man.
Then you fight another son of another legend, Aaron Pryor Jr. What do you remember about that fight?
That was a very tough fight as he had a big reach advantage. I ended up getting an injury during that fight. But, it was a fight that I had to fight through adversity. And I did well enough to get the W and stay undefeated and get healthy again. And
did you have a word with Aaron Pryor Sr.? Did you meet him at all?
Not really.
So who's better between the two sons of the two legends?
It's just different style. I think that Buddy McGirt has more skills. But due to me messing up my shoulder in the third round against Aaron Pryor, his reach advantage, and like I said, it's just different styles. I think Aaron Pryor gave me a harder fight because of his reach, and me only being able to fight with my right hand due to having our shoulders dislocated in the third round. So he gave me a harder time, but I think that skills-wise, Buddy McGirt is more skill.
And then you had your fight with Will Rosinski. I went to that fight, actually. It was a good fight, man.
It was a very good fight. Will Rosinski's a good fighter. He had a good amateur background as well. National champion. It was a very good fight, actually.
How good of friends were you?
We're a real good friend. We were actually roommates at one point. He was one of the few guys that I actually hang out with and got along really well with.
Yeah, I was shocked how many punches he was taking, man. You were hammering him and he was just standing there.
Yeah, but I know he was really, really tough. I mean, I have seen that kid, go to war with people in the amateur. That's his style. That's what he does. And it was just a great fight for the fans, and it was a great fight to be in. It was a great atmosphere because he was, us being friends and us trying to prove to each other that we're better, it was that much competitive. In a way that was good, but another way, it was kind of like I let all the thing get the better out of me, and that's why I made it such a war, and the fans won. It was a really good fight. It was very exciting. But I think I could beat him easier.
You looked spectacular in your last fight, man. How was it fighting for the first time in Madison Square Garden? Did you feel
That was
special?
huge.
Yeah.
That was very special. Not just being in Madison Square Garden, but being on HBO as well. Madison Square Garden is huge. It's the mega of boxing. It's like the Golden Gloves. Everybody that is anybody in boxing has fought in the Golden Gloves. The same thing as Madison Square Garden. Everybody and anybody that's anything in boxing, professional boxing, has either fought there or want to fight there. You know what I mean? And me being there, St. Patrick's Day on HBO, it was just huge. I don't even know how I was able to keep all the emotion and everything together. But that's what we do. And boxing is one of the toughest sports. The one-to-one sport. It takes a lot more than just training and everything else. Outside of the ring. We both put in our life there. It's like, you're going to get an interview for your job every time you step in the square circle, because with your performance there, it's going to be able to tell you what you're going to do next, if you're going to get the next job, which is going to get a bigger fight, or if you're going to take a huge pay cut and go backwards. You know what I mean? So I respect every fighter that steps in the ring, because it takes a lot to be a fighter. Not just the fighting, but the mental power, everything that's involved into being a professional fighter, one-to-one. Any sport that's a one-to-one. When you're playing baseball or basketball, you depend on the whole team. If you get tired, you get a minute or whatever you need to get back in. You get you a little timeout. But in boxing, there's no timeout. So there's something that you have to block out all the feelings and just go one round at a time. It doesn't matter how you feel. You just got to go through it and do what you got to do to get the win, because a loss or a bad performance could be a step back, a huge pay cut, and basically starting your career over or going a few steps back. And there's no room for that.
No.
In my career.
Yeah. And as soon as you're walking out to the ring, how do you feel at that point on your HBO debut and Madison Square Garden?
I'm focused. As soon as I walk out of that ring, I'm focused. It's already here. Nothing else matters but that guy in front of me. So many people around, but as soon as that bell rings, they disappear.
Any nervousness at all walking in?
Say that again?
You nervous at all walking in anymore, or are you over that?
No, not anymore. When you're walking down the ring, you're just excited. You're just ready that it's there. You know what I mean? You get nervous a few days before. We all human, so like I said before, this is a huge part of your life that depending on how you perform, you're gonna be able to, live the same type of life you're living, or get a better job or whatever. So we're definitely nervous the whole training camp. But as soon as you walk down that thing, nothing else matters. Just that fight, getting in there and just going to work, getting the job done. Then after that, you feel sore for like a week, just because you released all that tension and this is the greatest feeling in the world. Just being able to know that your job is accomplished. You won. You did what you had to do. Now you're able to just let your body just relax and then just go back at it again.
And why is it so different fighting on HBO than it is for fighting other fights?
HBO is huge. It's the biggest stage of boxing.
And what's the difference? Do they take you in the back and ask you more questions than other places, or what? What are they doing?
It was actually you know, leading up to it, I was kind of like, oh, the fight is coming. You know, I was a little nervous about it, but once I sat there, you know, I felt like I was at home. I felt like I knew those guys for a long time because I had been watching HBO and the fighters so much that I kind of felt like, oh, this is not as bad, you know what I mean? And I actually did very well with those guys. I wasn't nervous at all.
And how did it feel winning the USBA title on HBO? How'd that feel winning that whole thing?
It was a great feeling, man. It was just, we have come such a long way to be fighting on HBO for USPO title. But like I said, our goal is to get a world title. So the feeling is going to be that much better.
That's cool, man.
When we accomplish that goal.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you, man. And let's see. I lost my spot now, man. Did it sink in yet? Do you feel like a superstar already? Like you're getting there?
No, man, I'm still the same guy that just don't really think too much about what's going on, just live life one day at a time. But, you know, things have changed quite a bit around, you know. I'm being asked to go, you know, do stuff, go speak to people. You know, it's just pretty cool. People want to meet me. It's actually pretty cool, but I'm still the same guy, family guy, and that's about it. I went paintball shooting with my family, all my brothers. Like I told you, I have 5 brothers, so it was all 6 of us and 4 of our friends. And we just went at it, and that's the type of fun that we have. There was no drinking, there was no partying like that. We did have a cookout, but nothing too crazy.
And if it was all up to you, who would you be fighting next?
All up to me. Wow, it's hard to say because the super middleweight division is deep. So many good, really good fighters, big names with the Super 6. You know, there's Mikhail Kessler, there's Arthur Abraham, there's Andrew War, Anthony Durrell brothers. There's so many good fighters out there. There's Kelly Pavlik, Jermaine Taylor, who just made a comeback. Alan Green, I would like to fight like a guy like Alan Green. You know, somebody at that level, and then go for a world title. I want one of the top 10 guys, and then go for a world title. You know.
And what do you think a fight between you and Arthur Abraham would be like now?
Say that again.
How do you think you would handle like a guy like Arthur Abraham right now? Do you think you're ready for him now?
I know I'm ready for him.
And Glenn Johnson.
Anybody at the super middleweight.
You ready for anybody?
Yes, sir.
Who do you think is going to win the Fratch Butte fight?
Actually, that's a very good fight. It's going to be a really good fight. I think that you know, a lot of people are not giving Fratch a chance, but I think that Fratch is a very good puncher. He's a very good fighter. Very determined. His determination is insane, and that's one of the things that makes him so dangerous. His power, his determination to be a winner. And you know, Butte is a very good fighter as well, so it's going to be a great fight. I'm going to be a fan that night. I'm just going to sit back, relax on my couch, and just enjoy the fight.
That's it. Look for the winner, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of Andre Ward? How would you beat Andre Ward now if you had to fight him?
I think Andrew Ward is a very good fighter. I think he's the best super middleweight right now. He seems to be able to switch his style up and adapt to his opponent. And you know, I think he's a very good fighter right now.
And who do you think is going to win the Hopkins-Dawson fight?
I gotta go for my man Dawson. I think he's more talented. I think that Hopkins wanted to find a way out in the last fight. I think Dawson is younger, stronger, and faster. And you know, Hopkins is very smart, ton of experience, but I still give shot Dawson unanimous decision.
And how about Floyd versus Miguel? Who's going to win that one?
That's gonna be a great fight, man. I'm actually looking forward to that fight.
Yeah.
I give Miguel Cotto more credit than everybody else is. I'm not saying that he's gonna win the fight, but I think that it's gonna be a good fight.
How about Manny or Tim?
That's gonna be a good fight as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's gonna be a very. Give me 1 second, buddy. Hold on. You make that? I have some stuff on it. Come on, buddy. Say bye, mama. Hello.
No.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that.
That's alright, no problem, man. Life goes on. And, let's see, who would win between Floyd and Manny?
Floyd by far. I think that fight will be easier than Cotto and Floyd. I like that Cotto Floyd fight better than Manny and Mayweather. I think that Mayweather has the same similar style as Marquez, but he's a corner puncher. But his reflex is better, his deflex is better, he's faster, he's more accurate, and he got better footwork, he's stronger than Marquez. And obviously Pacquiao has issues with the style of Marquez fight. So I think that fight will be an easy fight for Mayweather.
Yeah. Who do you admire? Who do you try to make your style like? Anybody, or you just do your own thing?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
No?
That's a very high guy to admire and try to fight like, because he did everything good.
Yeah.
He fought in the inside well, he fought in the outside, he did it all.
Yeah, it's sad that we don't have his welterweight fights, you know? That sucks.
Yeah.
We don't get to see him at his very best.
I know.
Let me see. Just like one more question, man. So tell me about this year. What kind of year do you feel like you had in your life? Describe it.
I think that 2012 is going to be a big year. I just had a big HBO fight. And hopefully I get another one before the year is over. But this year I want to make a statement, and I want to become champion of the world.